Okay, so we're going to do a real quick lesson here on editing audio with something called Audacity. This is what Audacity looks like if you download and install it. It's a free program. It's, in fact, a really nice program that's available out there for free. And we're going to use it to edit sound. And not all of us are going to have to edit our sound, but I need to edit my sound. First off, we know that the song that you choose, your performance, can only be a minute and a half long. And my Crazy Frog song that I used is well over 3 minutes long. So I'm going to use Audacity to edit that song. I'm just going to import my Crazy Frog song into Audacity, and you do that just like I did here. You go to File and then Open, and it'll open any MP3 or WAV file you've got. And as soon as it is open, you see that there's kind of a map here of the song. And this top one is the left channel, and the bottom one is the right channel. And that means it's in stereo, right? So we have two sides, and we have a map of the loudnesses of that song. And if we go ahead and we listen to this song, you can see that the loudnesses and quietnesses of that song are mapped out here. Also, what we want to do while we're listening to this song is to decide what we want our robot to do and at what time we want the robot to do that. In fact, I'm going to back it up a little bit here. There's that real high note that the frog sings right there, and I decided I wanted to raise both of my arms during that high note. So I need to figure out where that high note begins, and we can see down here there is a timer running, and it looks like it's at about 13, well, right now it's at 13.6, so it was shortly before that, so we can say it's at about 13.4 seconds or so where the frog hits that high note. Now, we know over in RoboBlocks, we can time events during our performance using those if statements. So we're going to say around 13.4 seconds or so, I'm going to raise both of my arms. And then I'm going to decide what to do next. We see right there at about 17 seconds, a whole different thing starts happening. So we're going to do something different between, say, 17 seconds and a little bit later on, maybe around 30 seconds. I happen to know that this changes again. So we're going to listen to our song and go through it, and we're going to find the points at which we want to make things change. We're going to keep notes as we go. Right there, you heard a change at about 30 seconds or so. So I could say between 17 and 30 here, I want to be, let's say I want to be doing that shuffle bit. That would be a good thing to do right there. And then I'm going to change at about 30 seconds. I'm going to do a different dance move. Maybe I do the shimmy at that point. Okay, right there, we've got another change in the music. So now between 30 and about, 44 or so, what it's showing now, I'm going to do something different yet. And at 44, maybe I'm going to start doing that spin around in a circle because there's a siren playing. And maybe I'm going to choose right about here at about 54, 55 seconds or so. I'm going to start doing something else. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do during these various times. And you can be varying what you're doing with your lights, and you can be varying what you're doing with your motors, okay? So you want to listen to the portion of your song that you want to use. Now, let's say you only want to use this portion of the song. Look at my song goes way out here past 3 minutes. And I've got a real big change that happens here at about 1:15, and let's fast forward to that area. Okay, so that would be a real good place for me to just plain end this song and be over with it. So what I can do is I can use my mouse to drag all this whole area here that's out here and highlight it. And if I just push delete right there, we have to be sure to be on the stop function here of our player, otherwise that will not delete. So I'm going to delete that, and you can see, oh, I've still got a few notes there that maybe I should get rid of, and I'm going to delete that. And now, let's listen along here. That becomes the end of our song, and we can go ahead and export this project. And it doesn't have to be an MP3 file. Let's export it as a WAV file, because we know that's one of the things that our RoboBlocks will go ahead and import. It's going to ask you for some information here. You don't need to fill any of this out. You just say OK. And now we're exporting this entire project as a WAV file, a WAV file, and we're going to find that on our desktop, and we can go ahead and import this modified song. You can see it's only 1 minute and 15 seconds long or so now into our RoboBlocks. And actually, you can edit songs however you want. You can take little pieces out of the middle here if you want, and cut and paste them into other parts, or do things on that order as well. You have to really be careful when you're doing these edits so they sound natural. So you have to really kind of go in between beats, and you have to really kind of zoom in on these sound waves in order to get those quite right. So that's some advanced stuff. You can try doing it, and if you can get it to sound natural, that's great. Otherwise, just go ahead and cut off your song where you think it can be cut off, somewhere between 1 minute and 1.5 minutes. If you have questions on this, be sure you push email me. There's also a lot of great tutorials online about Audacity. It's a great program for you to try.